Fight Fiend. Fight Fiend is here. UFC London. Let's get it. Someone's has to go at the O2 Arena. We got Movsar, Evloev, and Lerone Murphy main event, and 7 undefeated fighters on this event. Smash the like button before we get going. Subscribe if you have not yet. Surprised if you have not subscribed to the Fight Fiend Forecast. We're on all platforms. Instagram, Patreon is where you can find the bets. But let's get straight into it. First fight of the night. We got 2 women's fights to talk about first. Crack one, pour one. Let's have some fun with these predictions. Nice and quick. First one, I'm taking the hometown favorite, underdog. It's a coin flip. Not really sure where this one's headed. Mullins is fighting Luana, Carolina to start off this event. Yeah. Luana, Carolina, 11-5, very well-rounded fighter. Mullins here, 7-2. Both off a loss by a decision. This one could go either way. I'm just going with the hometown girl here, Mullins. Both girls can get hit, and both girls could get taken down. I feel like they're both at the same level. This is going to be a very close fight to start the night. Could go either way. Give me the hometown girl here, Mullins. The next one, I'm taking the other hometown girl, Shanelle, Dyer, 6-1, versus Ravena, Oliveira, 7-3-1. Now, her record kind of shows she's not the best in the division, where Shanelle suffered her first defeat on Dana White's Contender Series in her last fight 6 months ago by a decision. Showed us her durability on the regional scene. She was very good, and I think she is very UFC caliber, where Oliveira in her last fight actually got submitted in round 3, started to gas out, and I feel like she has less finishing upside in this fight. That's probably why Dyer is the bigger favorite in this fight here, and is a wide favorite. I feel like this line is a little bit wider than I would like, but we're going with the hometown girl once again. And in the next one, it's another very close fight, 50-50 fight. Shamrock, 12-2-1 versus AK Al-Selwady. Abdul Karim here has not fought in 2 years, and it's hard to get behind him as a slight favorite here. I will go with the hometown guy in this one, Shamrock. Now, he did suffer defeat on his debut, but it was to Oliveira, very good fighter, 10-0 undefeated now, and what a fight that was. Oliveira just took him down, controlled the majority of the fight, outstriked him. Oliveira, 10-0, was a tough debut for Shamrock, but I feel like after his fight on Dana White's Contender Series, he can come out here and kind of show us what he's made of. Shamrock had a split decision in his most recent bout on the regional scene, and I thought he was supposed to fight on Dana White's Contender Series. Looking at it here, that did not happen. He actually just stepped in there last event versus Oliveira, which I believe was in London, unable to get it done. I thought he was a Dana White Contender Series fighter, but it does not seem to be that. He was an octagon fighter, and he had some rear naked chokes there. So he's a good grappler. He has 9 submissions, 2 knockouts. So Shamrock on the ground could be a sneaky play here versus Abdul Karim Al-Selwady. Al-Selwady knocked out 4 times. It could be a club and sub in this spot. Al-Selwady only 2 submission wins and 8 knockouts. Never submitted, never lost a decision. I just sense in this one he could get submitted for the first time or even lose a decision. I feel like hometown O2 Arena is going to favor Shamrock in this fight, and he could be an underdog if he becomes a wider underdog. He's only plus 100 now. If I'm taking a dog of the week, I would like to see a little bit bigger of a number just to make sure my bettors can get plus money at fight day. These odds change, and it's Monday now. Expect some of them to change. In this next one, I'm going to rock with the favorite from Australia, Brando. Pericic, 5-1. Made his debut. No Dana White Contender Series fight for him, although maybe he should have. He's only 5-1 now. Very green fighter, but he got the knockout in his debut. It was an Australian card, I do believe. He got it done there. Good win. He's a city kickboxer fighter, and he's very tall for the division. 6'5", his striking's good, very accurate. He has a reach disadvantage, Louie Sutherland, and although it's a hometown fight, I just picked 3 of them to win. At some point, we're going to have to see a loss for a hometown fighter. I think Sutherland suffers the loss here in emphatic fashion. Brando can hit, and he throws in bunches. I expect to finish relatively quick in this one, to be honest. Both guys come out of the gate quick. Heavyweight fight, yeah, we've seen some decisions. Just the way these two fight, I see a clash of styles, and Brando comes out on the winning end here as a wide favorite. A bigger favorite than I would like to see, kind of like the Shanelle Dyer pick. She is a big favorite this week, but we're rocking with them, having a little faith in the bookies and the line here. I don't think Sutherland or Oliveira have too much success in those fights. So let's keep trucking along at the O2 Arena, where Antonio Trocoli probably gets trucked. He's 12-6, primarily a grappler. If he can get it to the ground, he's very dangerous. And that's where I would bet him, hedge bet him in this fight versus Kondratavicius off Dana White's Contender Series. He's still pretty green. He's a wide favorite, 5-1 here. Not really deserving to be a 5-1 favorite. It's more the fact that Trocoli sucks, and this guy can't take a hit. And Kondratavicius is a hitter and is not shown to be a quitter. Trocoli is a quitter. He's shown us to be a quitter, so I don't like even a hedge bet option with a guy being so outmatched on the feet, showing us quitting abilities. Not even abilities, he will quit and just give up. So I can't pick him to win, but if he is to win, it's probably by a submission, and that's what he's going to look to do. He's probably going to lay on his back, go for a heel hook, and try to fight off his back, go for submission attempts, and then get knocked out. Because the Lithuanian probably hits too hard. He's too young here as well. He is 9 years younger in this fight. He's going to be too quick, although he does lack a 5-inch reach disadvantage. He's going to have to get into that pocket, close range quick on Trocoli. Although at range, Trocoli has not much to offer with the strike, and like I mentioned, he's a grappler. There's really no threat for Trocoli at range or the knockout in this fight. Kondratavicius, Lithuanian, should be a safe pick at 5-1, which is why he is a 5-1 favorite in his UFC debut. I just don't love it. I don't think he's a lock of the week this week. He clearly will smoke, most likely, Trocoli in this one. Not going to talk about it much more. Interesting fight. Could be a lock of the week. Just going to stay away on some of these debut fights. We've seen some of them not go as planned. Some of them I think will. Now this next one is really surprising. He even gets a chance back in the UFC. Felipe Franco, 10-1. Training with Jailton Almeida, who just got cut. And this guy is not UFC caliber. He lost on Dana White's Contender Series to a guy that's a regional fighter, Freddie Vidal. 3-0 at the time. He got submitted round 3. Franco here kind of quit after dominating the whole fight. Would have won a decision. Bad fight IQ, tapping that late in the round. I don't like his fight IQ. I don't like his level of competition. It's pretty terrible. The level of competition for Felipe Franco is absolutely terrible. He won 2 fights after that loss. But when you look at the level of competition, he fought a debut fighter. And the other guy was fucking 10-7. And not a debuter, 1-1, 10-7. And before that, he fought a debuter, 0-1, 19-16. So I have zero to little faith in Felipe Franco and 100% faith in Mario Pinto, which is why I think this 5-1 favorite is an absolute lock of the week. And the reason why I'm way more confident in this 5-1 favorite is because of the skill gap in this one. Not just with the striking, but all around. Pinto is the better fighter. He's undefeated, first of 7 here on the event. And I don't see that, going away at the O2 Arena. Pinto is a very good prospect from Portugal, and he has power on the feet. I expect a knockout in this one. Although, Trocoli is a lot more obligated to get knocked out, more likely to get knocked out. I just see Franco getting knocked out in this fight with high confidence. I don't see him surviving too long with Mario Pinto. Takedown defense could be a problem early in this fight, but if he cannot get submitted or knocked out early, Mario Pinto is going to look better and better as the fight gets longer. Round 2, round 3 is where he will find the finish, if not land the first shot in this fight. He's just levels above Felipe Franco, in my opinion, and we will lock in Mario in this fight. Absolute money. The next one is a close fight. Odds a little wide once again, so the confidence level has to be low on Losene Keita. Now, Losene Keita here, 16-1, is a very good fighter. Also from Octagon, he was the champ there. He's making his debut. Pitbull did not want to fight him after unable to make weight, so he has to make weight in this fight. Keita does. If he makes weight, should be a win. He has power with the striking. He has a lot of high-level wins by a decision. Shows us he has a gas tank, and he can be tested and still pass the test. Where Nathaniel Wood is a very good fighter, tough debut, but it's a winnable fight for Keita if he makes weight and brings his best, and that's what we should expect after not making weight. He would lose his opportunity in the UFC if he misses weight this time around. Nathaniel Wood, he's very hittable. I've seen him hurt before. His grappling and takedowns is where he can shine in this fight. If he's able to take down Keita and get control, we can see rounds start to swing towards Nathaniel Wood. Maybe later in the fight, if Keita loses gas and it's a tough weight cut, Nathaniel Wood could take over. Would take over in round 3 later. Win a decision. Could be greasy. Hometown fighter is Wood, but low confidence. I got Losene Keita making his debut. A lot of power. Looks like a serious striker. I'm just going to hesitate on betting this one. Hold back for sure. Not a lock of the week situation for me in this one. But it's an interesting fight and one of the most high-level fights on the card. On the prelims. On the prelim card for sure. Looking at the main card after this last prelim fight, super stacked event, high-level fights, a lot of undefeated fighters, and we got one undefeated fighter to talk about next, but I'm fading the Frenchies moving forward, fiends. We got Mason Jones, 17-2, second time around in the UFC, got cut once before, a lot of fights were going to a decision, now he's back, and he looked very impressive in his debut to Jeremy Stephens, winning it by a decision and dominating the fight. After that, he just beat Baraniewski in round 2, took him down, ground and pound. Now he gets an undefeated fighter, Axel Sola, 11-0 Frenchie here, but he's fought the lower level competition by far, in my opinion. His last fight was a little bit of a hand up to Reese McKee, probably one of the easiest matchups for a debut. He got it done, and it was a hometown fight for him in that one, I do believe. Now, Mason Jones looking for a good run in the second run here. He should have success and shine. 17-2, he has a lot of experience, and he's just beat guys similar to Axel Sola's style. So stylistically, Mason Jones should be fine, get the takedowns, control the fight, and land way more damage on the feet. In the Jeremy Stephens fight, although Jeremy is really old, Mason was landing a lot of damage, and I think the judges will see that and favor him over the Frenchie at the O2 Arena. So become a forecaster. All platforms, if you have not yet, smash that like button. Much appreciated. And if you seriously have not subscribed, please do that. Really appreciate that. Motivates me to keep making these videos, get them out there early. Now it's a Pink Panther type of feeling this week.
Your cockamamie plotting is wrecking me house.
Sorry, neighbor. I promise I won't plow here anymore.
The slides are pink. A little yellow reminds me of the Pink Panther. And we're going to start off the main card with Kurtis Campbell. And his nickname, I do believe, is the Pink Panther. Kurtis Campbell is the Pink Panther. Yeah, 8-0, undefeated. Like I said, we got 7 undefeated fighters, and it's hard to fade them. Although I'm not confident in this one especially. He has fought some pretty good competition on the regional scene. FCC, not the highest level promotion, but he's getting wins. He has a couple decision wins, knowing that his gas tank, if it goes late, it'll be fine. A lot of unanimous decision wins there. So the Pink Panther, Kurtis Campbell, is a very high-level fighter for 8-0. We've seen it with that knockout round 1 on Dana White's Contender Series. Handled the jitters pretty good. Now he's making his debut, though, in a big spot. And there's a lot of pressure on him. And Danny Silva, his opponent, handled the pressure pretty good in that last performance 7 months ago to Kevin Vallejos. Lost it by a decision. A lot of guys struggle with Kevin Vallejos, and Danny Silva looked damn good for what we did expect in that one. It's a guy that we rid off. Probably should not have. Danny Silva isn't the worst fighter, and in this fight, it would not surprise me if Danny Silva can go out here and get it done by a decision. He won 2 split decisions, close fights, Josh Cooleybow, Lucas Almeida, and he put it on Angel Pacheco in this Dana White Contender Series fight. Pacheco was tough, but he should have been knocked out. Danny Silva on the feet is a very good striker. And in this fight, I really feel like it's a 50-50 fight rather than Kurtis Campbell being a big favorite. So I will pick Kurtis Campbell, probably by a decision here, knowing that Danny Silva's tough and has been going the distance. He'll grease it out, get it done at home here, Kurtis Campbell, but not overly confident in the pick, and I won't be parlaying him on every single bet this week in London. All these London fighters are not locks, so manage the bankroll wisely when betting, and let's get this goddamn money. Let's go. Roman Dolidze next, fighting CLD Christian Leroy Duncan. And this is a great fight. Maybe a passing of the torch type of situation here. And I really like the fight for CLD. Off 2 knockout wins. Took out a prospect in the last fight he fought. Wasn't an old vet. It was Marco Tullio. 14-1. Spinning back fists. The kid, CLD, is good. 30 years old. Making steps up at the right time. And Dolidze is 37, 38, almost. And it's tough to see him really getting back into the win column and bouncing back off a loss to Anthony Hernandez. Yeah, it got extended. It went late. But if it goes the distance, I feel like CLD is going to be the better striker with more accuracy and volume in this fight. And the judges at the O2 will give it to him in this one. A lot more confident in this pick, too, where you can see the odds reflect the confidence in CLD. He's a very good striker, 7 years younger in this fight. He has to be a level or 2 above Roman Dolidze at this point in Dolidze's career. If it was 3 years ago, maybe a different story. 100% it would be. But hey, it's 2026, and sometimes we have to remember that. It's 2026. It feels like it's a passing of the torch type of year. Some of these new prospects are going to take over, make a name for themselves, enter the ranks, and CLD is definitely a fighter I will be buying stock into this week. So I love the pick, CLD, and I think he does get it done by a decision. Dolidze's tough. And the next fight is an absolute banger at 205 here. Baraniewski, the Polish fighter that put on a performance in his last fight over Ibo Aslan. Go back and watch that if you have not already. Now he's a 4-1 favorite in this one. I believe he was a slight underdog, 50-50 fight in that last one. And he got knocked down, got up, knocked down Ibo, then got knocked down again himself, got back up. It was a back and forth war, both guys getting dropped. And Iwo showed his IQ, his durability in that one, and I support him as a 4-1 favorite here. He's 7-0 undefeated, and he gets 13-7 Austin Lane, who does have a big reach advantage in this fight, but he's much older in this fight, and he's very flat-footed, chin hanging in the air, making little to no improvements. Former NFL player. I can have faith in him to get into the win column here. Now, the Polish fighter is a little crazy. He goes out there, little defense, he can get dropped. We've seen it before, but his accuracy, his power is there. He's really going for the win, and from what I've seen in his performances, especially his last 2, he's going to smoke Austin Lane in round 1. And this will be the last run for Austin Lane. Finished in round 1 in his last fight. Likely gets finished again. He's 13-7. He's a guy you won't be seeing back into the UFC here. He even had to move down a weight class in this one. He was a heavyweight, so he's dropping down to 205. Maybe it's the right weight class for him, but I don't think it's the right sport for him. Go back to football. Michael Venom Page is going to do his thing here versus Sam Patterson, who is on a win streak, ready to duel it out here. And it's getting close to one of the last fights of the night. And MVP is 21-3, and it's hard to see him taking a loss. Although he's 38, he is not slowing down at any time yet. He's favored once again in this fight off a big win to the Killer Gorilla Jared Cannonier. And it seems like a huge step down in competition versus Sam Patterson, who is on a win streak. But this is a step down for MVP. They're not pushing him to be a champ at 38 or to rise his ranks. Now he's just going to kind of hold the ranks here at his rank right now. And he's fighting a step down in competition, Sam Patterson. He is a good striker from what we've seen. He knocked out Left Hand to God, Danny Barlow, Trey Waters, but he has grappling too. But 24-3, Michael Venom Page, that experience, he is not going to get taken down. He's going to do what he does each and every fight. In the striking department, it's a huge skill gap. And seeing Michael Venom Page win so many decisions recently, I'm starting to lean he knocks out Sam Patterson here. Sam Patterson, he's another lanky fighter in this fight, but Michael Venom Page is tall and lanky too. It's his style that's so tricky to deal with. And with Sam Patterson being younger, less experience, I feel like he's getting knocked out. And this is a fighter, Sam Patterson, I do believe we've seen knocked out before. So the chin is not unbreakable. We've seen it broke. And once again, in this fight, I think he will get knocked out. Now, I think it was his debut for Sam Patterson. He got knocked out. Been a minute on a win streak now. But everything good has to come to an end. And with saying everything good has to come to an end, how many undefeated fighters are going to lose in London? Let me know in the comments below. Obviously, in the main event, someone's going to have to take a loss. The O has to go with the O2. But in this next one, Luke Riley, 12-0 undefeated. I don't know if his O is going to go. He's fighting Michael Aswell, and it seems like a setup fight, co-main event. If there ever was a setup fight in the UFC nowadays, every time I think there's a for sure fight winner, they never win. But although the locks were 4 for 4 last week, it seems like a stay away spot for me here. Luke Riley over Michael Aswell Jr. Michael Aswell has never been finished. He's very tough and durable, and he's moving forward the whole fight. Very durable. Never seen him knocked out, but he takes a lot of punishment, which is why we know he's durable. With that being said, I lean Luke Riley. He can probably find the knockout, but in that last fight, it took him a little while to get things going and find his reads. And if it takes him too long in this fight over Michael Aswell, he could be on the wrong side of a decision. But that's more unlikely than him landing the knockout and landing too many shots on Michael Aswell Jr., who's very hittable in this fight. So Luke Riley, big prospect, big knockout in his last fight, should go out there and get his reads after round 1 and find that knockout finish. If not, go to the judge's decision and win it at the O2 Arena. Being the hometown fighter, I feel like they're going to favor a lot of these London, UK fighters, and it won't be too hard for them to go out there and get it done on a judge's decision if it is close. If there's a split decision or two that goes towards a London fighter, let's not be too surprised. Let's be prepared and try to profit some money. Some close fights that could go to a London fighter with mention in that might not only be Luke Riley if he doesn't find the knockout. We could be talking Kurtis Campbell, the Pink Panther. We could be talking one of those women's fights to start the card. We got 2 of them to start the card that are likely going the distance. So let's see what happens with the judging in London. I'm going to lean a lot of them but I'm going to back off on betting some of them. So let's be careful and manage that bankroll very wisely. And with that being said, I have to fade a couple London fighters this week. And now we got undefeated versus undefeated. Someone's has to go, and it's hard for me to go against either fighter. The marketing play would be Lerone Murphy at home, but he's an underdog. Now, it's not like, oh, let's hold up on betting the underdog in these main events. They've been cashing. It's almost a blind bet to take the underdog in the main event. But we just seen Vallejo's favorite go out there and win after multiple underdogs. Now we could be looking at the favorites. We just talked about a lot of London fighters that are going to pull it off. I have less faith in Lerone Murphy by a decision to pull it off because it's a 5-round fight. And looking at the takedowns and the fight with Dan Iggy, Movsar had way more success and control. So I kind of worry for Lerone Murphy. I would favor him as a fan. I would favor him with the marketing side of the business. But realistically, stylistically, I think Movsar Evloev is due for a title fight. He's going to get the takedowns and control time and make it boring like he's done in every single fight in the UFC so far. This guy has won every single fight in the UFC by a decision. And he has a win, a cancellation. A win, 2 cancellations. Comes back for 2 wins, has a cancellation, fights, gets the win, has a cancellation or 2, and then comes back and gets a win. And now he gets Lerone Murphy and maybe a title fight. So there was question if this fight was even going to happen with visas. Can this guy fight in the States? Can this guy hold the belt, realistically? Movsar Evloev? I don't know. He has little to no finish and upside from what we have seen in his fights. You know, a lot of unanimous decisions. Looking at his record here, majority of his wins are by a decision. That's how Khabib dominated majority of his career. Khabib did have a lot more finishes than Movsar, though. And it's hard to see the UFC having too much faith in Evloev moving forward. 19 wins, only 3 knockouts, 4 submissions, and every single fight in the UFC was a unanimous decision. You know, his last win by finish was in round 5. And before that, it was a round 3 choke. And before that, it was a head kick in round 2. And all those other finishes were early in his career, 2014 to 2016 range. So maybe we finally see a finish for Movsar in this fight when no one expects it. But I'm just going to call him to go out there and win a decision, make it boring, piss off the fans after some of the London fighters get lucky, get it done, and have their way majority of the night. Now let's try to manage the bankroll wisely like we do each and every week. But I'm going to let loose a little. Let the leash go on Fiend. Because I've been going pretty late to start the year. It's been a rough start to the year. Starting to see my spots, and the locks are getting hot. So join Patreon to see the locks each and every event. I will probably do a separate show on the locks of the week this week. Give them out for free. 1 lock parlay is free each and every month. And London, let's give it out for free. F3 wants the locks. They know we went 4 for 4 last week. We might do the Fantastic 4 in London. Let's go, F3. Like the video now. London's going to get ecstatic. The underdogs have been horrific, but that could be a fade opportunity for you. You don't have to agree with Fight Fiend on each and every pick. Some people are probably making money going against my underdog of the week. But at some point when I cash in, it will be victorious, and you will take that loss. So you got to manage the bankroll wisely when fading and when agreeing with Fight Fiend. It's a part of the game. You got to win. You got to lose. We just got to learn from it and keep having fun, which is the main objective with Fight Fiend Forecast. Have fun, entertain, and keep moving forward. That's all you can do. Let's go, F3. We out. For the Dog of the Week opportunity, we're going to post that on Patreon. As Benson drops his bone upstairs, we're going to post that on Patreon after the show. We're going to do a separate video on the Dog of the Week again. And then we're going to get these locks figured out. this evening after editing this video and get it on YouTube. We got a potential live stream on UFC London, undefeated. We have 7 undefeated fighters on the event. Want to do a show on that, so stay forecasted. We're also on all platforms. Become a forecaster. Instagram, Discord, TikTok, X. You know we're on YouTube, so you got to subscribe. Much appreciated. And let's get this money in London. Let's go.